All right, so failing fast. So as a leader, you may not actually be doing all of the work, the production work, the planning work, even the managerial work in your agency. In fact, I certainly hope that you are not doing everything yourself unless you are a solopreneur who has consciously chosen to do so and has optimized their business accordingly. So the question comes out, right? If we want to fail fast as a business, how, as a leader, do I make sure that my team is failing fast in the way that they need to? So this isn't going to look the same way for everyone. This is going to look totally different depending what type of business you have, what type of team you have. But basically, the key element is to be that observer. Now, to be an observer who also nudges people to take action, the critical element here is that you have to find a balance between nurturing people to figure out the solutions themselves and also being willing to step in and be like, we need to move faster on this. Or, this isn't working, we need to shift. Or just basically, as I like to say, calling out the what's clear to you, but maybe not quite obvious to them yet. But it can be very, very tempting to just do that last thing all the time, right? To just, be like, no, not that. We need to focus on this. We need to do that, etc. And while that can make you feel real good and it can be a real tempting box to fall into, that is not the same thing as empowering your team to fail faster. That is failing faster for your team, basically. So it's really important to encourage the people on their team to make their own decisions. And the best way to do this is to set up accountability systems around data. So at the simplest, this can just be, did that thing get done by this time according to these particular constraints, yes or no? And that is a data-driven approach because it's not just, hey, did you get that thing done, etc. It is actually getting specific, where at the end, somebody can objectively say yes or no, that got accomplished. Right now, other accountability systems include regular meetings. I strongly suggest, if you're not already doing regular team meetings, now again, you don't necessarily have to be on all of these meetings. My chief of operations is the one who runs all of our different L10s and different meetings within the team. And I myself attend the leadership L10, which is EOS, we'll get into that different day, as well as the marketing one. And I actually don't always attend the marketing one, but because we are launching a new approach and new strategy, I've been attending the marketing meetings for the last quarter. But really what it comes down to is making sure you have regular meetings, making sure you have that accountability set, making sure your goals are specific enough that you can correctly and objectively assess whether they have been accomplished. And then giving yourself enough distance from it all. This is critical. This is actually the one thing, if you're pulling from this video, to remember. Give yourself enough distance that you can objectively see if something is dragging on, quote unquote, too long or not. Now, it's important to have both of these systems in place, have those kind of logistical elements in place so that you can see whether things are taking too long according to what they are saying they are going to do, right? Now, this could be for a number of different reasons. This could be because it was more complicated than anticipated. It could be because it's not working out as anticipated. It could be because you have learned new things that cause you to either reassess whether this is a good fit. We've recently decided that we're kind of shifting the platforms in terms that with the social media platforms we use in terms of how much energy we spend on each one based on where the people that we help hang out, right? But I, as a leader, am not personally responsible for all of this. What I, as a leader, am personally responsible for is making sure those accountability systems are set up and making sure that I, as a visionary, have enough downtime, enough separation from the work that's being done. I'm not touching every single aspect of the work in the different departments that's being done so that I can see and identify, hey, you said this accountability a few weeks ago. I'm noticing it's not moving as fast. Why is that? Oh, and then I reflect back at them. I'm like, oh, so I'm hearing that social media platform maybe isn't as good of a fit, or we're not getting as much of a return, or etc. Have you considered moving away from it? So anyway, hopefully this helps you gain a better understanding of the difference between failing fast as someone who executes and helping your team fail fast as someone who is a leader. Now, this is definitely nuanced. Like I said, it looks differently for different businesses, but it really comes down to finding that balance between making sure that things are set up so that people can work for themselves and making sure that you are able to see and identify where those opportunities to fail faster are going, when and where to let go of old ideas that aren't working out, to identify why something didn't work out, to push your team to come up with different, better, more improved strategies to help it work, but not actually doing that work for them, just being that reflecting board, sounding board, and accountability board. All right, more on failing fast coming up with our last video. Hope to see you there.